Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Cast Revive, your weekly top 5 gaming podcast and more. I'm your host, Matt Heimerl, and here with the man behind the cutest mic I've ever seen, Brian Husky.
Hey.
And he brought us in with little Roddy Otis stories.
How'd you know?
Because I'm
You
just
can't
that
see.
I'm just that good.
You don't know what's
I'm
over
just
here.
that good at guessing gaming music. This week we're talking about games that fight for freedom. This is our freedom theme month. So we got some silly choices in this top 5, but they all fit that overall either invasion, you're fighting for freedom, or you're rescuing people to give them their freedom, stuff like that. So anything that fits in that very broad scope, we've picked some interesting choices to talk about. So I think it's going to be pretty fun.
What would you fight for, Matt?
I would fight for the right for all-you-can-eat wings to be free for me on the first Monday of every month, and they have at least 10 different flavors.
I just noticed how precarious that is.
Wow. Yes.
My floating katanas.
Wow. How is that? Yeah.
Do you mind if I fix that?
No, go right ahead. I will continue
Hold
and
down
talk.
the fort? All right.
So, as we said before, since this is a new format, we're going to do just a quick news little segment right before we get started in the top 5, mainly because Pokemon Go came out. And this game is out of control. I am not a Pokemon fan. I've never played any of the games, but I decided to give it a go. Give it a go.
Give it a go. Nice.
And it's actually very interesting because it gets you out of the house. And I like anything. I like anything that
gets you out of
adds
the
that
house.
adventurous, like searching feel to it. And I go for a walk with my dog or my daughter around the block, and I have it, and you're just walking, and just it kind of puts you in that environment. And I think that's really cool. And we had a meetup around. I think it was Lake Crane's Roost. Somebody set it up and was expecting maybe a couple friends to come out. 2,000 people showed up to this thing.
Jeez.
It is insane, the support that these people have for this game and just for the community in general. And if you're not sure exactly what it is, basically it accesses your camera phone, and if you find a Pokemon in the area, you click on it on the map, and it brings up, and you have to turn your phone to locate the Pokemon. It could be on your wall, it could be sitting in your toilet. It could be really
Have
anywhere.
you ever found a Pokemon in your toilet?
I found one at the Oviedo Mall on the toilet.
Was it a Grimer?
I forget. I'm still not good with the names. It was some kind
It's
of.
the one that looks like poop.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't that one. It was some kind of ratata or ratata.
Yeah.
So I've caught a lot of those. But basically, then you swipe your finger on your Pokeball, and you have to hit the creature and capture it.
You would know.
I would.
I wouldn't.
Oh yeah. poor Brian has a Windows phone that's not cooperating. So we'll get you there.
Don't buy Windows phones. Just don't. Don't do it.
We've officially started a Cash Revive fund to get Brian into
Thanks.
Pokemon Go. So if you want to contribute to that, so Brian
iPhones are only like $400, right?
And if you're listening to this, I am a member of Team Valor. So hopefully you will join the red team. I don't know much behind that it's red and it's Team Valor. Like I said, my depth in this game is very, very limited.
It looks like it has Moltres for the icon, the mascot.
I have no idea.
Mascicon.
I picked Charizard, Charmanderzard, the dragon dude, as my starter. So I was like, hey, fire, hey, red, makes sense to me.
Yeah,
So
you would do that.
So yeah, so anything you want to?
In the news, I was just gonna say, Pokemon Go in the news has been like overwhelmingly negative though, because
People are getting
the first night that it was out, somebody got stabbed and mugged.
Yeah.
And then just recently, I think there was another story about a group of robbers. Is that what you call them? Robbers? If they're not, like, I don't know, criminals anyway. Some criminals were, like, luring kids to their car in a parking lot where they held them at gunpoint and robbed them.
It's
like,
crazy. I mean, like,
how are you going to use this awesome thing for like nefarious purposes?
I guess they just wanted their
shame.
collection. The game hasn't been out long enough people to amass a crazy collection, I imagine. But I've seen people be on coming back to me like, all right, I just went on like a 30-mile bike ride and I've got all these things. Like people are like, I like that.
I do. It's
hey,
promoting you to get out of the house.
You just went and
Yeah.
exercise and you played a game. I think, and it I just think that's really cool. But it's also the other side of it, as I've also seen people driving and trying to capture them at the same time. So it's a double-edged sword here.
Maybe disable it for a certain I don't know.
If you're going a certain speed, maybe you can't.
But then you should be you should have to be still, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm guilty of it. I did it once. I caught something on 417, but there was no one around me. So, I am guilty of it. But I definitely will not. I realized I was like, this is probably not the safest thing to do. So I didn't. But so be safe out there if you're doing that. But anyway,
just don't do it.
Yeah,
just don't Pokemon and drive.
Yeah.
Don't Pokemon and drive.
You can't text and drive. Don't Pokemon and drive. So if you play, let us know, and let us know what gym you joined. I think it's Team Mystic, Team Valor, and something is yellow. Team
Farfignugan.
Team Farfignugan. If that I would have I would have joined that just on the name if they actually had that. That'd have been fantastic. So we're going to jump into our list here. Unless there's anything you wanted to any other news that you had to throw at people. One more thing.
Exactly.
Is SGDQ 2016 was over last week, and it ended on Sunday, and they raised almost $1.3 million for Doctors Without Borders. They broke their record again. Fantastic. I'm going to do a little write-up on Geek Street Station so you guys can read the highs and not much lows. Pretty much an amazing event, and I'll go into more depth about that there. But
we really need to update our notes because for A, it just says news.
Yeah. Just news. Like, all right, well,
talk about news.
Yeah.
Could pick anything.
Well, those are really the two biggest things that I could think of in the. I couldn't think of anything else, and that was really worthy of talking about.
Nor did we do any research. It was basically just what we got
while
like
we were looking. Pokemon or $1 million for charity. All right, those two work. Yeah. Well, Nintendo's stock is up like over 20%, because of this. That's crazy. Let's just hope they can keep the servers up so people can actually play. Number 5 on the list.
Number 5, which is
going to be silly. But not as silly as our another one that we'll get to later. But we're starting out with Double Dragon on the NES because you are fighting to save your girlfriend and give her freedom.
That's right. And that's it. Now we can move on to number 4.
Yeah, so that's it. Thanks for listening.
It's cool because you actually picked an NES game that I played.
Yeah.
I played this with my brother, and then he grew out of video games for a little while, and I played it by myself, and it was really tough.
It is. The original Double Dragon is very, very tough. And one of the more fun side-scrolling beat-em-up games, followed. You had Streets of Rage that followed up and stuff like that, and Battletoads. But Double Dragon, I mean, when I first played that game, and it was so much more fun with somebody else. I mean, playing a single player is great, but when you got your friend or your brother to play with in it, it was just an unbelievable experience. And you fight through multiple levels and having to save your girlfriend that was kidnapped by this crime syndicate, and basically, it's just pummel. You just jump kick, pummel, and
kick, pummel. Is that all there was to it?
It's pretty much the way it was. I mean, you really wanted to jump kick and knock people over, and that was one of the easy ways to do it. But they had some crazy platforming stuff in this game. They had the moving platforms. They had the platform that had the spikes pop out.
That's all I remember is spikes.
And all your jumps had to be very precise. It wasn't like one button jumps. Like you had to hold both the buttons together to jump somewhere because one was kick and one was punch.
Yeah.
So timing was a very big factor in this game.
Yeah.
But it was great. I played 1, 2, and 3. And I never played the Double Dragons and Battletoads game. I didn't touch Double Dragon Neon when that came out a couple years ago.
I never. Yeah, this is the only Double Dragons I played, and I was just trying to think of that. There's a lot of games like this.
Yes,
where you're brawling, like the Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yeah,
kind of the same concept.
Yes,
you're doing that to save your girlfriend. What's the River City Ransom?
River City Ransom.
I don't know what you're fighting for in that one. Aren't you just a robber? Aren't you like a crook?
I don't think so. I think you're
Are you a good guy?
I think you're a guy that shakes hands with people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
just shaking hands.
That'd be a good guy.
That'd be a good guy. Yeah.
But what do you play? I play as a guy who shook that guy's hand. Give me medals.
That's good though, right? Because early on, video games were kind of simple.
Yeah.
A fight for freedom was just you're gonna fight to save a captive.
Yeah.
Think Mario, Princess Peach.
Mm-hmm.
Toadstool in those days.
Yeah, I mean Mario is a very good example of that. Yeah. I mean Bowser kidnaps and you're going to save your girlfriend. It's a me, Mario, gonna go plumb on the Bowser. I really should stop trying to do impersonations
No,
of people.
that was good. That was a good peach.
It was?
Yeah, it was
if you
good
want to
peach.
hire me to do a Mario gaming project, I could lend my services. Nintendo, if you're listening.
Yeah,
This
come
guy
on.
sucks.
Throw us a bone, Nintendo.
So if I was thinking earlier, if I had to pick a Double Dragon that was like my favorite out of all of them, I'd probably have to go with Double Dragon 2. Incorporating like you had added moves and stuff that you could do, and you had spin kicks and stuff like that were added in. Basically the spin kick from Street Fighter, the Ken and Ryu Hurricane kick.
Was that in the arcade? Double Dragon 2?
I'm not sure if that was in the arcade or not.
It probably wasn't.
I know it was on NES, but I
But
don't know if
it was double player. it was 2-player, right?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
Yes, it was. Yeah, 1, 2, and 3 were.
I think the one that we're talking about is double player. It's
yes,
double
2-player. Yeah, Double Dragon, double player.
double player.
Yeah,
If it only goes up to 2, it's double player.
The only Double Dragon that I don't recommend people really get involved in is the movie. The Double Dragon movie was pretty bad. But then again, video game movies are known for being pretty bad, with the exception of Warcraft.
Especially
the movie is amazing.
Especially the fighting movies.
Yes.
Like, to say nothing of Mortal Kombat, the fighting movies based on video games have been bad.
It amazes me how Mortal Kombat 1 and Mortal Kombat 2, they should have just done 1 and ended it. Like, Mortal Kombat 2 was so bad, the movie, but yeah. So I think that was a good choice to start out with, because I'm a huge, if you haven't guessed already, I'm a huge fan of the retro games.
I wouldn't have guessed.
That's where I saw, that was my introduction to gaming, was back in that generation, and that's just, when you don't have bills, you don't have problems, no money, no problems back then.
And yet, we all play brand new games together.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
Would you play a multiplayer version of Double Dragon?
Yes.
Like you just join a lobby and there's like 3 other Dragoners.
That's what I was excited about with that Double Dragon knee, and I thought that's the route they were going. But the graphic, they made it so like 80s style, and I was like, no. Like, it's just, I didn't
The game
like...
came out in the 80s.
What?
The game came out in the 80s.
I think it came out in the 90s. Was it?
It was older than that, wasn't it?
I'm pretty sure...
To the Googs!
To the Googs! But I thought Double Dragon Neon was going to add a little bit more. I would have loved like a 4-player Double Dragon, but
just like they all are now. This side-scrolling beaters.
We need to go back to cartridge and not disc-based game. I want to blow stuff again.
Wow.
Yeah. Blow discs.
The music went really quiet.
Blow cartridges, not blow discs.
You sure you don't want to blow discs, Matt?
This conversation's getting a little out of control.
Careful how you say that.
Double Dragon 1, check it out, or
Save Your Girlfriend.
Yeah, Save Your Girlfriend. That's what it's all about. Next one, number 4.
That should be the name of this episode.
Was it
Save Your Girlfriend?
Save Your Girlfriend. No, done. That is the name of the episode.
Enjoy that one, guys.
Next one, number 4, Star Wars Battlefront, the new one.
But, because it encompasses all of the battles.
True.
All of the iconic battles of Star Wars as a franchise, which is just an alternative battle for freedom, right?
Right.
Depending on who you are and what you stand for, because I don't know what the Republic's deal is. I just know that that's where Luke and Leia hung out.
They do hang out there.
They do.
Leia
They
is the
hang out
general
in
of the Republic.
Yeah.
General Organa.
We're going to mess up some Star Wars lore here. So
we're probably going to.
I like the movies, but I don't go in depth.
Yeah,
I don't know Admiral Akbar's secret heritage as the
don't!
Dark Lord of the Sith.
And we are hiring for a co-host for Cash Revive.
I'm just a cardboard standing, ladies and gentlemen.
The only requirement is Admiral Akbar's heritage and lineage. So
that's right. Get on that.
So, did you play much of Battlefront?
Yeah, I haven't.
Do you think it deserved the negative rap that it got, or do you feel that it was that DICE EA did a good job with the rebooting of this series?
I think if you're a fan, you're not going to have any problems with it. I think if you're a Call of Duty or Battlefield fanboy, then you're going to have problems with it.
I saw a lot of people just comparing it too much to the original Battlefront. I don't know if that's fair.
Well, it was a completely different time for FPSs, right?
Right.
So you can't have a company who's famous for doing Battlefield 4 now making Battlefront and doing it the way that they do their successful shooter.
Right.
the difference is that it has a different skin on it, right?
Mhm.
So like instead of machine guns, all your crap is lasers.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, I don't know. What's the complaint? What is the complaint about? You get to live in the Star Wars universe, like in a different way, right? Because you're not third person controlling a Jedi, or I mean, most of the time you're not. You know, it's an FPS. It's cool, like,
and you get to throw a thermal detonator.
Is that your C-3PO?
Was that the? Yes, I was C-3PO. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Was that good?
That was
Was that good? Okay.
That was real good.
So if Daisy Ridley is listening
Daisy
and she
Ridley.
needs me to do any C-3PO,
How many celebrities do you think listen to us?
I'm hoping a lot. I'm just waiting to get that sponsorship from.
We'll get there, right?
Yeah, we'll get there eventually. But
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I thought the AT-AT Walker mode where you had to bring them down. I thought that was a brilliant way.
And you've been doing that for a long time in these games.
Yeah.
Like the Battle for Hoth.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was in Shadows of the Empire. That was like the first few stages of that. So
Love that game.
I know.
Love
Shadows of the
that
Empire
game.
is really good.
I love watching speedruns of that game.
They
too.
better
It's
not skip it in the movieverse or whatever they're calling it. They better do Shadows. I mean, I know they destroyed all of the expanded universes as being canon now.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh.
Which I'm pretty sure means that Shadows of the Empire is out, but
If they did a Shadows of the Empire movie though, like a spin-off,
That'd be great.
Oh man,
that's what I'm saying. That'd be
amazing.
awesome, right?
That'd be awesome.
Who would play Dash Rendar in that?
Who could play? I want to get like a no-name actor. I wouldn't want to see like.
Okay. I was gonna say the guy that plays Jaime Lannister or the guy from Mama.
The guy from Mama.
Mama, yeah.
I have no idea what that is.
You know what Mama is?
No.
like
I know Mamma Mia.
No. Mama is like one of the better horror movies to come out in the last couple of years.
I have never heard of it.
We're gonna hold hands together and watch it one of these nights.
Well, we're currently holding hands now, so.
That's my foot.
Oh.
But yeah, that's my pick.
Yeah.
Him or Jeremy Renner, because he's sexy.
I don't know who I would pick for. I mean, I would. The Rock.
The Rock as Dash Rendar.
That would. It actually kind of would work.
The Rock should do the voice of his robot friend.
That could, I would allow that.
Twiggy or whatever.
Hey Twiggy, come here. I don't know why I have Boston accents for everything.
Is that Boston?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna start another podcast called like the impersonators.
Bad impressions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just gonna be me reading different scripts in like all Boston accents.
That'd be really good, actually. Yeah, you should do that.
Like the Passion and all of like
the Passion.
Yeah,
The rapper.
the Passion of Christ.
Oh,
the
Passion.
Mel Gibson movie.
Is there a rapper called The Passion?
Is there? I don't know. It's probably called Lil Pass if there is.
Lil Pass. No. The Situation. But that's a guy from Jersey Shore. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Tangents. We told you we weren't going to lose tangents.
Battlefront.
From Battlefront to the
Freedom,
Jersey Shore.
No, my biggest thing in the Star Wars universe is like I know the Emperor is like an evil douchebag, and I know that like they blow up planets and stuff, but like
whole planets.
What's the infrastructure like? You know, like do they collect a lot of taxes, or you know, I mean, are they just bad? Like they don't want you blowing up planets.
I don't know.
And what was the plan after the Republic won? Like
to have peace and not be attacked by people who want to destroy planets.
I don't know. Could be a bunch of 1%ers.
Could
the
be.
Republic. You know?
Could be. You never know. And we might not know since if apparently the expanded universe is no longer canon.
Well, no, all that stuff that's all core.
Oh.
The Empire and the Republic.
I don't know though. I think in the next movie they're changing the names to
they already have
Team Valor
what
and
is
Team
it now?
Mystic.
It's the new. Oh my God, the Resistance.
The Resistance,
right?
Yeah.
Is that what they are?
Yeah.
Are they?
And the Force Awakens, they were
the Resistance and the
what's the Resistance?
The something order.
The First Order.
The
First Order
of the Phoenix. The Order of the
Order of the Phoenix. Hurry, you put your leg in that goblet of fire.
Yeah, well, Billy Weasley is in Force Awakens. Is it Charlie? It's Bill. It's Bill Weasley.
He is? Who is he?
The redhead guy. The only redhead in the movie.
but I mean, who did he play in Force Awakens? I can't think of
the redhead guy.
But I can't think of a redhead guy.
The Imperial guy. The
Oh
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. What's his name? Snort or whatever.
Wow.
General Snort.
That he gave a really awesome speech too.
Did he?
In the movie?
It was kind of evil to me. So
well, no, I mean,
Yeah.
but I mean the way he delivered it, it
Yeah.
was really well done. Like you feel it's like, ooh, this guy's just like is really evil,
Yeah.
you know. I thought that scene was really well done.
He's also in Deus Ex with Poe Dameron. What's his name?
That guy, I just call him
Oscar
Poe.
Isaacs.
Oscar Isaacs,
Yeah.
who was also Apocalypse in the X-Men Apocalypse
He
movie.
was.
Yes, he was. I still haven't seen that movie, but I will.
I would say don't bother. Go see The Purge before you see.
I do want to see
X-Men
The Purge.
Apocalypse.
I do want to see The Purge. We got to do a movie podcast.
Well, The Purge ties in with our theme
It does.
about freedom to kill your neighbor.
That's just grotesque. That's a whole new level. It's just like, you are free to murder anyone who's first on your list.
What a great idea, though, huh?
It's an interesting idea.
It's not a good idea. Let me rephrase that. It's an interesting movie world.
That would
it's
give
nothing I'd ever want to see replicated.
That would give like an underground bunker business. They would make them like millionaires. Like once a year.
Well, that's the plot of the first movie. Is the home security guy, right?
I've never seen any of them.
You've never seen any
No.
of the. That's
No.
like your thing.
My thing is murdering random people.
Yeah.
Rock on.
So, Battlefront, fight for freedom.
Yes, Battlefront's good. I mean, I want to pick it up. The problem is they've already got 2 expansions out.
That doesn't mean anything.
So
right?
it's like, do I want to pick it up, or do I not want to pick it up? I mean, I really enjoyed the beta, but the reason I didn't originally is because nobody wanted to play it. But you play it. But we're also playing Overwatch. We're playing Diablo. We're playing a lot of other
You're
games.
Be
So
playing
it's
Battlefield 1.
Yeah.
Battlefield.
Yeah, Battlefield 1.
Battlefield 1.
Yeah, the beta is going to be coming out soon enough, so we'll be delving into that. And Battlefield 1 looks amazing. If you haven't checked it out, oh my goodness, World War I, absolutely gorgeous. So let's
Flamethrower Knights.
and swords and charging and that's going to be an episode all on its own. We're going to do a Battlefield like episode where we just focus on like Battlefield.
And you'll get as mad in that as you do in Overwatch now.
Yes, that's true. No, I'm not going to be started. Goodness gracious.
No, we should. That'll be the wrap up. Is you complaining about Overwatch?
Overwatch.
Aw.
Number 3 on our list, which is interesting because it's Assassin's Creed 3.
Ah.
Yeah, how about
Good job.
How about that?
Did you do that?
I yes, I
You
did.
did that.
Takes place during the American Revolutionary War.
Pretty much, yeah. So, that's like our ultimate fight for freedom, right?
Yeah, this was. I haven't played any of the Assassin's Creed games. Well, that's not true. I've played like little bits here or there, but this is the game I wanted to play out of all of them because when I saw when it was revealed at E3 and I was
Yeah.
seeing the video for it, I was like, just the cutscene looked amazing. Like it literally brought tears to my eyes. But I still never played it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the deviously of cutscenes, right?
Yeah.
You want to play the game based on that, but then you have no idea what the gameplay is like.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Assassin's Creed, at least into the series now, you know what you're getting into.
yeah, I mean, it's pretty well established.
Yeah.
And we got a movie coming out,
Yes, we do.
which will be awful. Looks horrible.
Which is the host of Magneto, the guy who plays Magneto,
yeah.
whatever his name is. We're so bad with names.
I know.
We are
I
the
keep
known-
wanting to call him
we
Eric
are-
Lesnar, but that's like Magneto's real name or something. So- and I got that wrong too. It's not
Nice.
even that. But yeah, so that guy, check him out. And
So, and Assassin's Creed 3, you play as like a half.
half Mohawk
Half
Indian,
Mohawk
half
Indian.
American, and I think they made him half American just so they could give him the name Connor, so that you didn't have to say his real name, which is like, oh my god, I'm gonna mess this up really bad. What is his real name? It is.
We're doing it in the kindest of ways.
Yeah. Raton Nakahakaton.
That's his real name?
I think. I don't know.
Interesting.
But if I had to say that, I mean, I wouldn't. You don't refer to your character ever, so.
It looked like one of the more brutal Assassin's Creeds, like in terms of like combat.
I think they wanted to capture that aspect of the Revolutionary War.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
I think, from the gameplay and the stuff that I was watching, I didn't feel there was like as much stealth in it. It was more like I'm just going to charge in and start stabbing people and hitting people with axes. Like I could be completely wrong, but I felt like the stealth element of this game wasn't as high as the others. Have you played 3?
Yeah, no. I don't know. I'm trying to think, because I played 3, I played Black Flag, and I played the Unity,
Mm-hmm. Unity.
right? So I don't there's a lot of parkour, like, no matter what you do.
Right, right.
Like, I guess to me, I never really did a lot of missions. I just kind of run around the city until I got bored.
You kind of Grand Theft Auto'd it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the appeal to me. Because, like, right off the bat, you can start collecting collectibles and stuff.
Right.
But, I don't know, 3 was cool because all the other ones, you're pretty much dealing with Europe.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So, like, this one was cool just because you were in America, and that appeals to me. I'm in America.
Are you sure?
No, I'm not sure these days. But I used to be.
True, we are an American podcast. But it looked really interesting. I've never really had a huge desire to play him, but this particular game, because I'm with you to where like I mentioned on the Grand Theft Auto, like I have no interest in really doing the story. I really just want to run around and like stab people. But the story for this game actually looked interesting.
Right.
So I always wanted to, but I don't own a 360. So
it also has a double face. Because all these Assassin's Creed games have like a subplot, which I guess is really the main plot of the game is the present day stuff, right?
Yeah,
you know that.
Because because you're in that like Animus room.
The Animus, right?
Yeah.
So everything I guess is like a virtual reality constructed on your ancestral memories, which is just whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna go there. Like I can't get my head around time travel, much less like pulling up your memories.
Right.
It's like to me, it's like the pensieve from Dumbledore's office.
I was just gonna say that pulling the memories out.
You just like stick memories in your face. But cool concept, and it lets you do things like go to whatever time period you want, as long as you can somehow connect it back to this guy Desmond,
right?
Who I think dies in this one. Spoiler alert.
I mean, they have a lot of Assassin's Creed games. Aren't there like 10 or 12 like games? Because they have like spin-offs on like the handhelds, and then they have like the main series.
The spin-offs count?
I don't know. I guess they don't count as part of the main series, but I'm sure that the spin-offs have something to do that would explain something in the main story. I would assume.
They pull a Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
Where they make you play like 50 other games just to get to one plot detail of the main series.
This doesn't make sense. We'll play this through this on the Vita and on the 3DS, and you'll understand
Don't
this
forget
one
to buy
section.
our other games.
Yeah. Come on, kids.
Square Nintendo or whatever. It was Square Nintendo, right? No, it wasn't Nintendo.
I only played the first Kingdom Hearts.
Square Disney.
But the third one looks pretty cool from what we've seen.
The third one?
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything about it.
Yeah. They didn't do anything on E3 this year, but there was a previous trailer that came out before E3 just showing some gameplay, and it looks pretty polished, but it looks good. But I want to
I love our tandems.
No. How many people? I want to know how many people listening have played Assassin's Creed 3. And I've read some a lot of people that I've read like on forums think that Black Flag is the best.
I think it's awesome.
They think it's the best one. I'm interested to see what people's thoughts are on their thoughts on the third one. Did you like it? Did you not like it? And why? I mean, it looked like a lot of fun. I can't say if it was good or bad because I haven't played it yet. Yeah. But it looked amazing. So
well, like this one has the 3 has a little bit of naval combat in it, but Black Flag I think capitalizes on it.
There's so much naval combat in Black Flag.
It's good though,
so
right?
much, yeah. Oh no, it looks awesome. It looks awesome.
Did you ever play Sid Meier's Pirates?
No.
Okay. Black Flag was like that on like cocaine or something.
Oh wow!
Yeah, nice. To me anyway, I had a lot of fun with that. I like those like crew oriented. I think we talked about it a little bit on the last podcast. Like I like managing a crew. I like managing a ship. Like I like managing the whole picture. I don't like being the one guy,
right,
stuffing the cannons or whatever.
Yeah, you stuff faster,
and then the other guy gets to shoot him.
Yeah,
that's not fun. I want to do all of it.
Do all of it.
And
it was cool because I was watching like boat combat, and, like how like when you turned, you saw him start turning the wheel and everything, and it was just the only thing is like it's like really like literally stopping on a dime with some of these boats.
Yeah,
but it can't have it all. I'm not gonna be that guy. It's like just
throw all the anchors in the water right now.
Yeah. This game is not realistic. Not playing it. So overall, it looked like a really cool game, and I absolutely want to check. I doubt I'll probably go through the whole series, but 3 did look interesting to me.
Yeah, I mean, you can check it out like in a vague way.
I will check it out. Maybe I'll watch a speed run of it.
I was just going to say, the speedrunning community has probably done a lot with this.
Oh, I'm sure they have. That would be interesting to see how they would speed run that game.
I can assassinate George Washington in 4 minutes.
Yes. I wonder if there's crazy glitches that like skip certain things. I'm sure there are. I mean, these people do amazing things.
Yeah, like if you dive into this haystack at this time of day with this guy walking through the street, if he says, "Hey, look at that guy," then you know that you've jumped through the core of the earth and you come out the other side and Abraham Lincoln's there and you just...
See, that is a brilliant explanation, and I would love to see you actually work on that in one of the games.
SGDQ 2016. Right? Did I do that right?
You did, but you're going to want to practice it for AGDQ 2017, which is out in January.
Right.
That's the next one.
AGDQ.
Yeah. Awesome games done quick. Different charity. But same team. Good stuff.
Not very original naming, though.
I think so. Summer Games Done Quick, and then
Awesome Games Done Quick.
Yeah.
2 different charities.
Yeah.
Run by the same people?
Yeah. One for Doctors Without Borders and one for the American
I thought it was like 2 competitive charities.
Oh, no. They're all done by the same people. They just split them up. So, speaking of awesome, let's talk about the complete opposite of awesome, and that's our number 2 choice.
Why is it our number 2, Matt?
Because it's called Freedom Fighters, okay? This is a PS2 game about a New York plumber that saves the alternate world America from Soviet invasion.
That's right.
Yes. I mean, it doesn't get much more American and freedom. This game is so bad.
It's like that old staple where, like, New York are just the most aggressive American-loving people, so why not make them the hero?
Yeah.
You know? And I feel like the plumber tie-in... Like, what's that about? Was it just to, like, okay, it's like a new age Mario?
That's the thing, that what they wanted to do with it. I mean, literally, like, the beginning of this game, you walk into an apartment to, like, find this girl or do work on this apartment, and then
I'm here to fix the pipes, ma'am.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden the Soviets kick open the door and they start shooting, and he's just hiding behind the door with his wrench.
And then your plumber just picks up a gun and starts shooting back.
Yeah,
and this weird guy comes out of the door and is like,
"Quick, you need to shoot the barrels." To shoot the
and you don't know that guy's the Russian spy the whole time. What the?
It's a third person shooter, and you used a thing called charisma to gain followers and stuff, and
that would have been awesome if the people you picked up were like established people or like had any background whatsoever, but literally you go up to guys and they're like, "Hey, Captain, what's cooking?" And you're like, "Come with me," and they're like, "All right."
Yeah, it's like gaining followers in WoW and Warlords. Just gaining random people.
Just they don't have names or anything cool.
But the voice acting in this game is on par with like Symphony of the Night.
It's pretty bad.
It is pretty bad. But we picked it because it's literally it's United States fighting against a Soviet invasion in the country, and they're trying to repel them. So, and it's called Freedom Fighters. I don't care how bad the game is. I was like, it couldn't be our number 1, but I sure as hell was going to make it our number 2.
This is how we do our list. We just go to Google and we type in the name of our theme, and then Matt just picks the top 3 things that show up.
Games that fight for freedom.
Freedom Fighters.
Freedom Fighters. Like it. All right. What's this game about? Plumbers fighting Soviets. All right. Number 2.
It is an insane concept.
It is.
And if it wasn't a bad game, I'd be interested in it. But now it's just like watching a train wreck. Like, I literally watched the whole thing. Like, unable to keep... There's news segments, right? Mm-hmm. Where the invading army's newscaster doesn't, like, set up her own news studio. She takes over the existing one and then speaks in English... If you're the invading army and you want to spread news, wouldn't you use like a secure channel? Wouldn't you like not speak in English? Sorry, am I missing the point?
Not to go against our Soviet listeners.
I'm no warmonger, but I just think I would do things a little bit differently.
Yeah, that's probably why the game didn't do so well. They were going to what I read, they were in development for a sequel, but instead, the developers used a different idea to make the Kane and Lynch series.
Ew.
So then, the
Talk about going from bad to worse.
But at least that series was more. I mean, the Freedom Fighters never saw a sequel, but
Kane and Lynch did take off.
Yeah, it did take off. So
a little. I mean, it kind of took off.
So I'm going to say that Freedom Fighters was kind of the original idea for the Kane and Lynch, just two dudes. And wanting to go against people who, for all we know, they're the same people.
Oh, what if they're Russian detractors?
Could be.
Snap.
See? Like, we're putting stuff together that people haven't even thought about. I'm digging this track, too. We got the Final Fantasy 13 track going on in the background.
In case you haven't noticed.
Yeah, and it's this track's very, very chill.
This game has everything.
It's cool.
We got to talk about Final Fantasy 13 sometime.
We should do Final Fantasy 13 sometime. And oh wow, that's interesting.
What?
Our number one that we're going to talk about now is Final Fantasy 13.
Look at that.
How did that happen? What does Final Fantasy 13 have to do with freedom, Brian?
Well, a lot to do with freedom.
It does.
I don't know. I feel like so the whole concept to Final Fantasy 13, right? There's two worlds.
Mm-hmm.
You got like all the savvy people living in the top world, and all the dirty like alien freak show people living in the bottom world.
Right.
And if you ever mention dirty bottom freak show world, like you're getting put in jail or you're getting purged, which is just
the movie.
You're getting the movie in the mail. They're going to send you a free copy of that straight away. So the game opens with a train of like purge victims, we'll call them.
Yeah.
Just being sent to their deaths, right? Because the government of your world is just an asshole, right? And so you're lightning.
Mm-hmm.
And you save the trainload of people. I forget. Does she save him, or does
I believe she
Snow
does.
inadvertently blow him up with his doofy grenade?
Dude, first off, Snow's grenades. Snow is the greatest character in 13.
Well, right off the bat, anyway, you have a
Yeah.
battle for freedom. You have a
Yes.
battle for saving people against a corrupt government. Well, I believe it's corrupt.
Right.
I mean, anybody who sends a train full of people to their deaths is corrupt to me.
Unless they were like all mass murderers. But I don't think they were.
They have their rights. But, yeah, so like that the whole concept is like this alien force is turning people into slaves,
Right.
To fulfill a task, and once they do that, they turn into crystals. Is that right? You didn't play 13, Matt.
I played all the way up to the final boss.
Did you really?
Yeah, and I couldn't beat the final boss, so I gave
It was
up.
frustratingly difficult.
Very
wasn't
frustrating. Yes.
It? Yeah. So you're fighting against slavery. You're fighting against a corrupt regime. You're fighting for like some personal freedoms too. I mean, everybody in this game discovers themselves.
Right.
I mean, maybe that's more a comment on self-discovery than freedom, but
And isn't Lightning trying to free her sister because she was turned into an LC?
Yes.
Wasn't it? Is that what it's called? LC or is
LC.
that?
Yeah,
LC?
the Pulse Lassie.
Yeah.
They use some really weird lingo in this game, but I dig it. So yeah, Sarah,
Syrup.
yeah, how Serah or Sera, whatever.
And she was dating Snow.
Yeah, that's her bae.
That's her bae.
Yeah.
And Hope doesn't like Snow because
Snow killed his mama.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, he tried to save her.
They
but,
killed her.
But she slipped. And then Hope cried the rest of the game.
Yeah, and then he became president, so there's that.
And then there's that. Hello. So there you go. If you want to be president,
Just cry a lot.
Just cry a lot. Got it. Then I'm going to be president.
And then you have the best character to enter the franchise ever, Vanille.
Wait.
Vanille.
She's the
Vanille.
She's the alchemist one.
What? The alchemist.
She's not the dragoon.
No.
Okay, then Vanille's the one I find.
She's
annoying,
the healer, basically.
The healer.
Yeah. She's the.
Don't worry, Los Cavalry's here.
Yes.
She's the tracer of weird voices.
Mm-hmm.
Might even be the same voice actress. Need to look that up.
I wouldn't mind going through this game again.
You
I
should.
still, I'm sure I still have the save file on my PS3. The thing is with me when I play Final Fantasy games is I try to get through the game as quickly as possible story-wise because I want to beat it, and then I go play it again and I do everything there is to do. Like because I'm worried about spoiling the game for me.
And that's good. I think that's good. I think you should. It's like for me, it's like going into a building in Fallout 4. Like you don't want to sit there and collect junk along the way. you want to clear it out and then go back and collect the junk. So I think that works in Final Fantasy too. You get through the story on your bare bones, right?
Yeah.
And then you go back and you do all the extra side stuff.
That's what I like to do.
I think that's good.
And if the internet wasn't around and Facebook, then I probably, would take my time. But unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there that's like, hey, just so you know, I beat the game in one day, and this is how it ends. Hope has a baby, and it's named Joe. And this is like, what? And then Titus comes back, and Sin is part of this world, and every Final Fantasy's connected. And I'm just like, what's going on? This guy's a jerk.
Well, the people want to spoil. And, like, they're evil about it, too.
They are evil about
The
it.
day that Force Awakens came out, I didn't go on Facebook at all. I didn't go on the internet at all. But I went on World of Warcraft. And, like, I was just in my little garrison, minding my own business, and then in all capitals in the chat, Kylo Ren is Han Solo's son, and he kills Han Solo. Thanks. Also, spoilers, in case you haven't seen Force Awakens yet.
I saw it.
It was a year ago now, though.
I saw it the day it came out, first showing, like, available in Oviedo when it came out. And the next day I went on, I was online just looking up cooking recipes. and in the comments for the cooking recipe was Han Solo dies by his son. And I was like, on a cooking, like, just for, like, a Betty Crocker, like, brownies. Like, it was like,
sorry, did you mean add more butter?
Yeah.
to make them chewier?
But it's just like why? Like, of all the places that I didn't expect to see was on. So it's just like they are out there, and it just doesn't matter. You're not, unless you cut yourself off, which, like, nowadays, especially for me, for us doing an online podcast, it's impossible to stay away from social media. So
yeah.
When new games come out, I really have to beat it as quickly as I can, because I'm going to see someone, like, I'm going to go to, like, a stay-at-home dad chat room, and it's going to be like, hey, by the way,
stay-at-home dad chat room.
Yeah, got to look for those play dates, you know. Hey, there's plenty out there for stay-at-home moms, so there should be some for stay-at-home dads as well.
I guess we can't be sexist. That's true.
Yeah, I know. That's why I didn't go to one of these stores, because there was a mommy and me.
What store are you talking about?
I forget what it was. It was Jamie.
You were out one day taking a stroll, and there was a store.
Well, Jamie and I, we were all at the mall or something, and there's like a craft event. So it was a mommy and me day. I was like, why isn't my parents and me day? Why isn't a mom like, I'm gonna stay home? I'm gonna stay at home dad while I finish school. So why
can't say parents like cutely, parenty.
I wanted to go in there and be like, am I allowed in? Because
the sign says mommy and me.
So
I just want to know,
are you
because I'm like
discriminating against me because I'm a man. So, and then I should have been like one of those guys like, I'm gonna sue you for millions of dollars.
Now, quick, Matt, tie this into Final Fantasy 13.
Well, the train station was actually going to the mall, to that exact store, but the men that were on the train were the people who built the store. And then they all died because they did a poor job.
And you're out.
That's it. We should do like a game show type thing at the end. All right, that tangent, tie it back in, and you get points.
I think we should justify our tandems. Yes,
we should.
Tandems?
Tangents.
Tangiers.
With 13 is who was your party in 13 before we
Vanille, Hope, and just because I don't want to use Fang, probably like Snow or 13. But going through the game, you have sectioned off party members, right?
Right.
You got to play as Saz and Vanille, and then you got to play as Hope and Snow, and then you got to play as
I forgot about Saz. He was cool.
Yeah. So in
cool.
this music, I think, is where you're Lightning and Hope. And you're climbing the mountain of dead robots.
Nice.
I think.
The only thing I didn't like about 13 is it felt very linear. Like, there wasn't as much exploration as I would have liked.
I don't mind that.
Yeah.
And plus it opens up a little bit when you get to Pulse.
Yes, no, it does. It does. When you see like the giant behemoths walking around. Yeah,
exactly.
No, it absolutely does open up a little bit.
And true to what you're saying, like the beginning of the game could be focused so you can get to the end faster and then go off and explore and do whatever, right?
True. Right. There was a lot of really cool side things to do in 13.
Yeah.
Especially when you got over to Pulse, when you had those. And that's similar to all those hunting bounties, I guess.
Correct,
You could get.
Yeah.
So that was really cool.
And I like the way that they did the shop in this game. everything was like a phone app,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I thought that was neat. A lot of good things that Final Fantasy did right. The battle system was a little clunky because it was their first go at it, right?
Right.
So they didn't, they tried to make it new and interesting.
They definitely improved on 13.2 and 13.3.
Yes, although 13.2 you have to play as Sarah and her bae. Her new bae. No. Her best friend?
I don't know. I never played
the guy.
I haven't. I never played it.
Some time traveler shows up.
I bought the special edition that came with the soundtrack, and I never plugged it in.
Oh, man, come on.
Well, I never beat 13, so I was saving it to beat 13, so I could, but I never beat 13, so it's literally just sitting there.
Yeah. Well,
Backlog.
Yeah.
You know?
There are two characters that earn their freedom later on in the series, if you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean. They find each other and kiss.
I think they do?
Nice.
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to play it now.
I can't back that one
I'm
up.
all about kissing in video games.
Yeah, me too.
We're gonna do a kissing theme month. What's the best? All right, top 5 kisses in video games. We'll do that for February for Valentine's Day.
You sure you don't want to do it for Halloween?
Nobody would expect it. That's for sure.
This
This week for Halloween, we're gonna do kissing. These guys suck.
Well, maybe so. But you'd have to write in and tell us that.
That's true.
So
That's true.
if we don't hear it, then it's not true.
That's true. And we push that all the time. We want you guys to write in what you want us to talk about. Our top 5, Steam, stuff like that. Go to Geek Street Station.
Yeah.
You know, we have the form under our Cast Revive. You can fill in as much as you want.
We know that we could have picked like a bunch of military shooters and taken this a little more seriously, but these are our picks.
Yeah.
You tell us yours.
That's right. And that's how it works.
And then we'll have a segment that goes over your top 5 picks really quickly in the beginning, like an auctioneer.
And speaking of that, I put out a mailbag.
A mailbag.
You know, out and
That's
and
right, you did.
and we got not many, but we got a couple questions.
What's our mail sack look like, Matt?
Our mail what does it look like?
Can we call the sack? Can we call it sack?
I think so.
A mail sack?
The mail sack.
Mail sack.
Is there anything from a game that like has like mail that's like kind of
Magnet.
Magnet? That's
Magnet,
good. This is our Magnet.
We're stealing that.
That's beautiful.
Thanks for that, Square.
And all of you were wondering why I have Brian on, and that is exactly why right there.
Where'd you pick this?
What is going on with this guy? This guy's awesome. Get
Not
rid
like
of that
anybody
man.
else would want to be here.
Yeah, jeez. So question number 1.
Uh-huh.
What is your favorite RPG?
What?
I know it's a hard question to put your mind around right out the back.
Now. Okay, I'm just gonna throw a couple out there because that's honestly an unfair question.
Okay.
I like the Nippon Ichi stuff, which is like Disgaea, Phantom Brave, Makai Kingdom. There's another one that I'm forgetting.
Brian
Anyway.
is the RPG guy. That's why I gave him this question.
I really like Final Fantasy 13. This is my favorite Final Fantasy. Chrono Trigger, obviously. Chrono Cross is up there too.
So basically all the ones you've played.
Just every RPG I've ever played. It's my favorite one.
Have you played any of the Mana series?
I played
Secret
Legends
Mana?
of Mana for PlayStation
Okay.
and Secrets of Mana for Super Nintendo.
Nice.
I liked Legends of Mana better because I got to make my own character. And I like their summons.
Mm-hmm.
Their little salamander and, their lesser-known magical creatures.
The little gnome.
Yeah, so that was cool. Fallout 4 is an RPG, technically. I like that. So
Good answer. Good answer
No,
for a single.
but let me just. My favorite game of all time is Chrono Trigger, so I'll just say that.
That's good.
Yeah.
Mine, simple. Legend of Dragoon.
Yeah, there you go.
Closest-
no surprises there.
Closest Final Fantasy VII, but Dragoon always pulls ahead slightly only because I played it in my grandmother's basement.
We're gonna have
I
to
have a
pick
lot of memories
theme
with that summer.
that goes over Final Fantasy VII because we've yet to talk about it
Not sure.
on this.
We will. Yeah, I mean that's going to be a whole month of just talking about that.
Are we waiting for the remake for that, or
I don't know.
that's a long time?
Yeah, we'll probably have like a precursor episode to that.
Oh,
Yeah,
we should do a spoiler of Final Fantasy VII, the classic, to try to spoil all the new brats getting into Final Fantasy VII for the
Done.
remake.
Done. We're going to call it Old School. You schooled.
No school like the old school.
That's right.
All
Done. Question 2. Do you have a certain soundtrack you listen to on a normal basis?
Undertale every single day of my life
Nice.
since I discovered it. Yep.
Nice. Me, it's Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
I just. Actually, I have a playlist of 7, 8, and 9. I put it on there as the best Final Fantasy music. But if I had to pick only one gaming soundtrack that I could only listen to for the rest of my life, it would be 7. It has every range in there that I'm looking for in terms of like a game.
Are there Final Fantasy VII cover or like variations, like piano? Variations that you like?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I have the piano covers. I love the Black Mages. You know, the
Black Mage is Sephiroth.
Yep, it's
Very
really
good.
really good. The word One Winged Angel is beautiful.
Why couldn't they just say Sephiroth? It's his theme, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
no, he has his own. He has another one.
He has one, but then when he transforms into the One Winged, and I guess that's like his ultimate badass form. It's just like, yo, what's gonna be? What's scooped?
When are they going to refer to the final boss's form as ultimate mega badass?
I'm hoping in the remake they're going to do that for Sephiroth. I'm really hoping.
Put your reticle over and it's like ultimate mega badass form Sephiroth.
Yes. 2. So I chose one more question out of the Mognet.
Okay.
And I'm saying we're gonna do a couple each week. So if you just didn't make it on here this week, be sure to listen next week.
Send it in again.
If you could be inserted into any game as yourself, what game would you best be fit for?
Let's see. I'm a mouthy coward, so I could be the side character to anyone basically. Like in Bayonetta, that fat Italian guy that looks like the Danny DeVito character. I could be that guy.
Just replace him. That's me and Brian. All right, let's go.
Yo, you want your hair and your stilettos, babe?
And then I like fall and my pants fall down.
Nice.
You know? And then what happens to that guy? Like repeatedly? Do I have a completely different memory?
I've never played Bayonetta, so I'm not sure. I know she has
Bayonetta.
I know she has high heels and kicks people.
For Women's Appreciation Month, you have to play Bayonetta.
Will do.
And Final Fantasy 13.
Although we here at Cash Survivor appreciate women every day.
That's right. We don't need a month for it.
That will be a fun month to do that.
Seriously though, any game that lets me use a shovel or do alchemy.
Stardew Valley.
No alchemy in Stardew Valley. Actually, you can transmute in that, so okay. Yeah.
Nice.
Stardew Valley. Yeah, there you go. That's
For me, it's hard. I would probably say some type of first-person shooter like a Medal of Honor. Like
no!
Yes. I mean,
that's too real, Matt. You can do that if you really want to.
Well, no. I'm too old now.
Oh, yeah, you are too old.
So I can't. I had my shot, and I had to lose a bunch of weight, and I couldn't make it in time before I had to
Paintball
retake
league.
my SFAB. Huh?
But you could do like a paintball military league where they're all about the.
I could, but my back with its injury, it's really hard for me to crawl and jump and do anything that's really
be the sniper.
athletic. It could be a sniper.
And then when the tank comes along, it'll just blow your tower up.
Then you know what? I would probably insert myself into the role for Bad Company 2. One of the cast for that.
Yeah.
Because they were silly. They were criminals. I'm not that I'm a criminal, but you know they were like the rejects. But they're just
Bad
badass
Company
group of guys who
awesome.
they swear, they smoke, and they just enjoy what they're doing. I could see myself being in Bad Company 2.
Honorable mention for this top 5, Bad Company.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Dun, dun.
Snow.
Snow's
I think
Snow's the best character of that game.
he did get to punch people and throw grenades early on, but if he didn't keep doing that, that was his downfall.
Melee characters are always my thing. That's why I love Sabin.
Zell.
I loved Zell. You know, like they're always in my party.
You like
Herschel and Dragoon.
that dirty redhead guy in 9 that no one cares about.
Yeah.
Amaranth. Yeah.
He did have a very powerful ability.
He did. No, he was like a good character. No, he was a good couple of abilities, but he wasn't a good character.
It just seemed like out of place. Like he didn't add anything to the story for
and
me.
he got tacked on like at the. I guess he was kind of following you throughout the game, but like when he
Eco,
introduces himself, he was like,
Yo, I got a beef with Zidane because one day I was buying bagels and he got in line in front of me.
And then they ran out of cream cheese.
And it's all his fault.
See, we should start doing voiceovers for games.
I tried streaming and doing voiceovers for all the readouts, and you said no.
Nope.
Speed run for life.
Nope. I watched you doing your Oblivion and Skyrim runs, and I thought they were absolutely fantastic. I loved it. So I hope you guys enjoyed our answers. If not, then please let me know. I love constructive criticism. I thrive on it. Brian sends me constructive criticism every moment of every day.
You got to challenge people in life, otherwise they won't rise to the occasion.
That's right. So be sure to follow us on all our social media: Facebook, Twitter at Cash Revive. Shoot us an email at cashrevive@gmail.com. I'm not going to mention YouTube, but you can go there if you want. But most importantly, geekstreetstation.com.
Yeah.
You can find everything under there. Our form you can fill out to send us suggestions for the show, stuff to improve, stuff you like, don't like. Just have a conversation with us. We've been getting a lot of really good feedback through there, and we think it seems to be working really well. That and Twitter seems to be the number one way people are getting in touch with us. And shouts out to Martin's Games on Twitter.
Yeah.
He's been a really big supporter of this. Of retweeting and really giving really good feedback for the show.
Really
so check him out on Twitter and on YouTube. He does a lot of really cool gaming videos. So be sure to check him out
and be more like Martin.
Be mark like Martin.
Be Mark like Morton.
Be Mark like Morton. I like it. Anything else you need to touch on before we cheese and rice it out of here?
No, because my house has no AC right now, and.
Well, let's go get that. Let's go get that
ice cream and shove it down our trousers.
I love that very much, and we'll tell you guys how that felt next week. See you next time.
There will be no reporting of ice cream in my trousers next week.
Lies.
No, I'm not going to do it, Matt. And you can't make me.
Ended out with some Final Fantasy Crisis Core, Price of Freedom, the saddest song in Final Fantasy history.
I don't think you're right about that, but. Let's go on.
Absolutely.
You're forgetting Yuffie's theme.
Thank you guys for being here. And we'll see you next week.